If you've ever shopped in Lidl or Aldi, you'll know that they have a range of products that imitate actual branded products. But are they actually any good? I wanted to find out, and so in front of me I have 7 branded products plus their counterpart from Aldi. And I'm going to test each one side by side to find out which tastes the best and decide whether it's actually worth going for the cheaper product or going for the branded product. This is Eatrigue, I'm Jessica, and this is Aldi versus the brands. So I've gone for mostly snack foods today, the main reason being that I think like the branded products in most cases invented the idea, whereas if I went for things like bird's eye fish fingers, they don't really imitate in the same way, whereas these, you can definitely see that these products, they're trying to be like the original. The colours match, the branding is very similar, and so that's what I wanted to test, is these things that are pretending to look like the original, does the food taste the same? So let's start with the McCoys crisps. McCoys have been around for quite a while. They're known for their big, thick, crunchy, ridge cut crisps, and also their non-standard flavours. They do have like ready salted and salted vinegar, that kind of stuff, but their other flavours are pretty non-standard. This one, for example, is Thai sweet chicken. And this is, I think, the only brand that does that name, the Thai sweet chicken. Others will do like a sweet chili. And we know this is an imitation, mostly the colours are the same, but also it has the exact same flavour. Now the biggest difference you can see here is that this is a multi-pack of 6, whereas this is a sharing bag, and I don't think McCoys do sharing bags. So we can see the branding is very similar. We've got the circle in there, and we've got the writing around the thing. This packet says full on flavour, whereas this one says ridges full with flavour. So there's a bit of copycat going on there. So let's try first of all these Thai sweet chicken from McCoys. So your first flavour there, slightly sweetness, and then the chilli comes and kicks you in the back. It's not an overbearing chilli, which is sort of a nice little tingle, but I like it. It's a good flavour. But if we go over to these Snack Right ridged ones, they do smell different, and they seem to have actually a lot more flavouring powder on it. So if you compare the two here, this one here, that's the Aldi one, this one this other hand in my right hand is the McCoys. You can definitely see that this is darker, more red. Let's taste it. It's a more powerful flavour, definitely brought on by having more of the flavouring on it. I think the chilli is slightly stronger. I would say that the McCoys are probably slightly crunchier. Yeah, definitely. They have nailed the imitation. If I was blindfolded, I would not be able to tell the difference. So round 1 goes to Aldi. I quite like them. There's virtually no difference there at all. In round 2, we are going for Rocky versus Wacko. I absolutely love Rocky. It's one of my favourite chocolate bars. It's not even a chocolate bar, it's a biscuit chocolatey biscuit bar. This is the caramel variety. There is also a plain version and also an orange version, although I can't remember which varieties Wacko imitate. The original is made by Fox's, the biscuit company, and the Aldi version is made by Belmont Biscuits. And if you look at the logo, you actually see this better on another product we're doing, and it's designed to look a bit like McVitie's. So they're not trying to imitate the brand in this case, but they are imitating a different brand. Let's start with the Rocky. So you can see here there's a very distinctive hump on the top, and you've got the biscuit underneath with the caramel there. Really nice product, really nice flavour. I quite like it, it's melting in my hand. Now let's have a look at the Wacko. The flavour is actually different on this one. And also the design is different. There's no hump, there's just sort of like waves on top. The inside looks fairly similar, although not the same. If we compare them side by side here, you can definitely see that they are different. I mean, on the inside they don't look too dissimilar, but when you're looking at the top, they definitely do. Again, this is possibly one that was made in the same factory by the same people. So for example, Fox's might actually make these Wackos, but not necessarily to the same ingredients or the same recipe. So I'm just going to taste these both side by side to decide which is better. The caramel's got a nice flavour, it's not too sweet, and the chocolate's spot on. Now for the Wacko again. So the biscuit is more solid, The caramel flavour is a bit more subtle, but the chocolate's nice. I quite like them both, but because we have to go on what tastes the best, on this round I'm going with Rocky, and that makes it 1-1. The caramel just stands out more. For round 3, we're going with America's favourite biscuit, the Oreo, and then Aldi's version is called Cookies and Cream. This is also by Belmont Biscuits, which is the sub-brand that made the Rocky, and then Oreo is Oreo, right? Or Mondelez. It's owned by Mondelez. Oreo is one of those iconic brands that everyone knows. They didn't really exist in the UK until like 10 years ago or something like that, or at least not to my sphere of knowledge. And you can definitely tell this is intended to be Oreo. Not only are the biscuits looking fairly similar, the branding is also similar. The blue colour, we've got the branding on the biscuit there, but it has the name written on the biscuit. Now, of course, a very popular way to eat it is to twist it off and lick the inside. I'm just going with them straight because that's how you eat most other biscuits. Now, the thing is, I know the outside is supposed to be like chocolate flavour. I don't really taste chocolate when I eat it. I don't know why. It just tastes of like brown. It's kind of like dark chocolate, sort of ever so slightly bitter, not overly bitter. So let's see what Aldi have done to their cookies and cream biscuits. Okay, well, immediately you can see that the placement of the cookies is a bit more higgledy-piggledy. They're also quite a bit thinner. There's less filling in there. We do have a design on it, but it doesn't have a name. It's sort of like a flower pattern. Let's give it a taste. Oh, well, the biscuit is crunchier. It tastes more chocolatey than an Oreo. So there are differences. They don't taste the same. They taste similar. But I have to say, I think I prefer the Aldi version. And I think it's because the chocolate comes through more. Whereas this doesn't taste of chocolate. So round 3 goes to Aldi. I mean, I'm surprised by that. I thought Oreo would win that one. In round 4, we are testing pot noodles. This is the chicken and mushroom flavour. So in my hand here was the branded product, pot noodle. And this other one is Aldi's snack noodles. And they've gone for the exact same flavour type, exact same colours, very similar pot style. So again, you can tell this is an imitation. Aldi also had 2 other flavours, beef and tomato, which pot noodle also do, but it also had a spicy curry, which I don't think pot noodle do. They do have other curry flavours, but not one called spicy curry. So that might be a unique flavour to the Aldi version. The cooking instructions of both of these are basically the same. Pour in some water, stir in the sauces, wait for 4 minutes. Easy peasy. So let's do that now. So they both come with packets of soy sauce. Okay, they each had 4 minutes. Let's have a look at what they look like. Side by side, the pot noodle one, which is this one here that I'm shaking now, a slightly deeper colour, whereas the Aldi one is kind of like a bit weaker. But you know, it's flavour that matters, so let's try the pot noodle first. I do quite like chicken and mushroom. It's like nice comforting flavour. You know, it's not as interesting as some of the other flavours, but it's nice. Let's go with the Aldi one. Oh, I can also see that the noodles in Aldi are thicker. But how does it taste? That's interesting. It's slightly more intense flavour. I wonder how they've done that with a weaker looking broth. So there's the noodles side by side. You can see that this Aldi one has thicker noodles than the pot noodle. The noodles themselves are darker. I'm not sure whether that's a product of it being thicker, but I've just dribbled sauce all over my table now. I think what it is, the Aldi one has more salt flavouring. I don't know if it actually has more salt on the ingredients. So per 100 grams, the Aldi version has 0.65 grams of salt, whereas the pot noodle has 0.63 grams. So yeah, there is less salt in the pot noodle, not by much, but there is less. So I think round 4 has to go to the brands. Pot noodle is better than Aldi. That makes it 2-2. In round 5, going for more chocolate biscuits, and this is the Orange Club, and the Aldi version is called Orange Chunky. Now, just going back to what I was saying when I did the Rockies, let's compare the logos, shall we? So there's the McVitie's logo as shown on the Club brand, and then we look at the Orange Chunky Belmont biscuits, and you can see they are so similar. They've taken the colours, kind of the blue with the red and gold, like even this little wheat thing matches the apostrophe in the McVitie's brand. So definitely they are trying to imitate McVitie's with that logo. And again, the colouring and the branding of the thing, they're not as similar to each other, but I think they're similar enough that we can say it's an imitation. Now, I know a lot of people don't like orange flavoured chocolate. Personally, I absolutely love it. So let's test them side by side. Start with the Club biscuit in the classic foil with paper around the outside. That was a very weird way of saying that, but never mind. Whereas the Aldi version has just gone for a plastic wrapper. So 2 different styles of wrapping. It even says Club on the biscuit itself. That's awesome. Now, the old advert for Club had the lyrics in the song of, if you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club. Now, there is some chocolate on there. I wouldn't say it's a lot. I think they could go thicker if they wanted to, but that's quite nice. The biscuit has a nice snap, and then it crumbles nicely in your mouth. Now let's try the Aldi version. So you can see it's a similar form factor with the sort of edges on the outside there rather than sort of smooth and round, almost like a brick. So let's give this a try. Now if you actually look at this closer, you can tell that it's kind of the same product but also kind of not. So with the Club, you can see there's a biscuit there. At the top there's a small orange layer of like fondant or something similar, surrounded by chocolate. Whereas the Aldi version, you have 2 biscuits with orange in the middle and chocolate on the outside. So similar but different. This is definitely an imitation, but it's less of an imitation to anything else that we've tasted today. Also, there's a gap between the middle fondant and the chocolate. There's nothing there. There's an air pocket. I feel a bit cheated out of some sugary goodness here. The Aldi version is not a bad biscuit, but because it's a sandwich biscuit rather than this, which is a solid biscuit surrounded by chocolate, it has a different mouthfeel. And I think I prefer the flavour of Club as well, so I'm gonna have to give this round to Club. So that means it's 3-2 to the brands. For round 6, we're going with ice cream. And this is Magnum, made by Wolves, versus Aldi's G milk chocolate. So again, you can tell there's definite imitation going on here. The product looks very similar branding with a letter inside a gold circle. And with that G, I also think they're trying to tap in on the Galaxy brand as well. Of course, there is a difference in size here. There's Magnums come in a pack of 3, whereas these come in a pack of 4. So let's open the packet then, see how they taste. Well, the internal packaging is completely different. This is wrapped in on the see-through thing, whereas this is see-through. I spot the difference. They are virtually identical. The shape is the same, the stick is the same. The only way you know they're different is that this one actually has Magnum written on the stick. I'm trying to show you there without covering it up. Whereas this has a G on the stick. I hope you can see that. Magnum and G. Well, let's bite into them then. Magnum first. Nice crunchy chocolate, very smooth. Ice cream, it's got a nice vanilla-y flavour, nice and sweet, but not too sweet. It's pretty good. Oh, as it's going down the throat. Lovely creamy chocolate flavour. Okay, well let's try G's. So the snap is about the same, the crunchiness on the chocolate. The ice cream itself tastes a bit grainier. It's sort of more icy, whereas the Magnum is smoother. Chocolate tastes completely different. It's sweeter, less smooth. If you look at the inside here, the Magnum is on the top. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but definitely slightly more icy on the inside of the ice cream, whereas the Magnum is smoother. It's not as good. It's just not as good. It's nice, don't get me wrong. And if I just ate this without having this, I would be very happy with it. There is no contest here. Magnums are so much better than G's. Sorry, G. Sporty. In our 7th and final round, we are going with Hula Hoops. This is the barbecue beef flavour. Now, some brands actually make the Aldi version, and this is the only one I know for a fact does that. KP, who make Hula Hoops, they make these. And I know this because I watched a program about it several years ago. And that is also part of the reason why their packaging can be so similar, because you'd think, why doesn't Aldi get sued for making products like this that looks so similar to this? And the fact is, it's because it's made by the people that make this, and that's why they're not getting sued. So they'll probably be made to a different recipe, so hoops won't be the same as Hula Hoops. But is the difference noticeable? Let's give it a go. Firstly, let's try the Hula Hoops. A nice small 24-gram bag of Hula Hoops barbecue beef flavour. This is one of my favourite Hula Hoop flavours. It's just got that classic beef flavouring that you get on most sort of beef or steak flavoured crisps. Let's see if Aldi's hoops are any better. So their packets are 25 grams, which is 1 gram more than this. So you're getting more for your money as well. Less pronounced smell. And also I'm noticing very different shaped hoops. They're less uniform. There's some smushed ones here. Yeah, they're almost like seconds. I have a feeling if you made a packet of Hula Hoops like this, they would be like, nah, they're going in the bin. But how does it taste? Completely different. It's more peppery. It almost tastes like overcharred meat from a barbecue. So you know when you, not necessarily overcooked meat, but it catches on the flame. That's kind of what you got on here. I mean, they are different. Like I said, I know for a fact that hoops are made by the people that make Hula Hoops, and yet they are completely different. Lovely classic flavour on the Hula Hoop. Over peppered, overcooked meat on the hoops. Again, if you just gave these to me, I would quite happily eat them. I wouldn't be upset. So I'd give it some Hula Hoops, and I'm happy. So I'm going to have to give this final round to Hula Hoops. They're just better in almost every way. And so that makes it 5-2 to the brands. So there we have it. I have the winners of each round in front of me here. 5 to the brands, 2 to Aldi. But I will say, Aldi's products, I would definitely eat all of them again. It's just that they're not quite as good as the products they're imitating. So it's a bit of a weird victory though for the brands, because yes, I do prefer them over the Aldi version. But if price is coming into play, I would choose Aldi for all of them, to be honest with you. They're quite nice and they're pleasant to eat, you know, so yeah, take of that what you will. But yeah, 5-2 to the brands. Do you agree? What other products should I try as well? Like, are there products that you prefer from Aldi over the brands? And also for Lidl, I'd like to do this again, so leave your suggestions down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch these other videos here that are squeezing my head. And then subscribe here, and I'll see you again soon.